Hi, Ted. Nice to see you. Can you hear us all right?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
And we can hear you as well. Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order for the Township of Hornepayne at 6 p.m. And I'll hand it over to Deputy Mayor Peter Kissmaker.
The Council of the Corporation of the Township of Hornepayne would like to begin by respectfully acknowledging that the land on which we gather here today is the Treaty 9 1905-1906 territory, the traditional lands of Indigenous peoples. As we work towards reconciliation, may we all live with respect on this land and live in peace and friendship with all its diverse peoples.
Thank you. Review and note any changes to the agenda. There are none. Approval of the agenda. If I can get a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Cheryl Fort, second by Councillor Peter Kissmaker. Be it resolved that Council does hereby approve the agenda as presented. Those in favor? And that is carried. Item number 5, declaration of pecuniary interest, declaration of conflict of interest. I do have one to be tabled tonight. It's for myself. It's for the closed session. It's item 5.1 of the agenda, the closed session, which are the special meeting minutes from July 11th, 2024. As discussion may arise from the minutes, and I declare a conflict with any of that discussion. Any further? Okay, and council, you know that at any time throughout the meeting, you can declare a conflict if such a situation arises. So we are moving into a closed first, and there will be an open there as well. If I'm going to move her in a seconder to move into closed. Moved by Councillor Peter Kissmaker, second by Councillor Belinda Kissmaker. Be it resolved that the next portion of the meeting at 6:02 p.m. be closed to the public in order to discuss personal matters about an identifiable individual, including principal and local board employees, pursuant to Section 239(2)(b) of the Municipal Act 2001 and 6. Do I have to read 6.2 as well? Usually it's just one chunk.
No, that's just how we list out what's being closed.
Okay, that's the end of the motion there. Sorry, council. Those in favor? And that is carried. Go ahead, Councillor Peter.
I don't know how it is now. It's more of a question, and then depending on the answer, suggestion. So the fire that we just had on the CN yard, where the ties were located, that was an extensive fire. A lot of resources were dedicated to put it out, and I would imagine that our Hornepayne Fire Department is going to submit a bill for this. I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, in the past, I don't know what the practice was, but going forward, whatever money is billed, so like the fire department performs some, like the service is putting out a fire, and there's a bill submitted for, let's say, $20,000. $20,000 because it was the fire department solo that did it. It's run by volunteers. I believe that money should, instead of going to the general coffers, should go to the fire department in a separate account or whatever, with their discretion on how to use that money. And I'm not suggesting and I'm just throwing a number because it's just easy math, but $20,000, say if the bill was for this recent fire, we don't put that towards building because you'll never see it. That's that's just little drops in the bucket. I would like to see them have the ability to say, okay, we got $20,000, buy another respirator, you buy a heat detector, whatever. They know the equipment they need, and it could stay in-house.
Okay. Would you see that as establishing like a fire department reserves?
Yes,
And then,
with the ability that if they want to spend it as they get it, or save to a certain extent, that would be on them. Of course, they would have to send reports to the mayor and council of it at the time to be, so it's the transparency and everything, all the due diligence is done.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of our budgeting process. So then if there's a fire, say there was one and there was some recoup costs and
Yeah.
go into the reserves. And then the next year when they want to do their budgeting, they could say that we want to use up this amount of reserves as well. And then, because really they should be spending what we've already budgeted, right? Like,
Yes.
we shouldn't be
Yes,
adding to it.
100%. But as long as the money goes back to the individual responsible for running their department.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, any further comments? Ted, do you have any comments? I finally
No,
looked up.
all fine. Nope, that's all fine. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay, do we have any volunteers to sit on the committee? I will.
I will. Sorry.
Belinda, Peter, okay, so does someone want to volunteer to be the alternate, first of all?
I
Okay.
will, Madam Mayor. Yes, thanks.
Okay, so we have Belinda and Peter as our members, just for your notes, Jen. And Ted will be our alternate. Okay, any other further discussion on that? Okay. Well, else did you have anything that you want to add tonight when you're at our meeting?
I don't think so. It's all kind of new to me, so. So much to follow you guys, really.
Well, we want to get some movement
I'll do
done.
the legwork for you. I think it's wise choice that I council do that kind of commitment. And if you guys say.
Well, what it does for us as council, so once you have your report done at the end, even if we don't end up with a fulsome, it's, you know, this is everything. But then we can, when we go to the government and we advocate, then we can say, look at the work we've done at home to try and provide our own solutions. And when we see the pricing of what's out there and we know we can't afford it all, then it can have more of a push politically, right? Instead of not knowing. That's, you know, what I think I've voiced this to you before, put it in the budget, put it what you want so that we can get motivated to get it. Okay. Okay, any other information that Jen needs for that? No. You're good, Jen? Okay, any other discussion on this topic that we want to have this evening? Go ahead.
It's more of a comment there through you, Madam Mayor, to our chief. And everybody that worked with you. Thank you very much for the other night. I wasn't there. Everybody that was involved told me it was intense and it was really, it was bad. And you guys did a phenomenal job as usual. And it just amazes me how a group of volunteers, and half of them are new to the town, you know, they just jump right in and they're willing to, you know, hats off to you guys and girls. Thank you.
Like to add that there was many parts and they all went beautifully. Portion, the first many hours was on portion. It's a lot of hard work and all the students are Hornepayne lumber and Hornepayne power.
Yep.
Really great. Huge steps when they came in. The game changed completely.
Yeah.
Then and then later on the excavator around
Yes, we are in the town grader with the operator.
stage changed. They're still working on it. We have an RSD. All stages were amazing.
Well said. Okay, I think that's all our discussion points. Unless, Eileen, did you have any other items you'd like to add or questions you need answered for this? No. No? The only other question I had for you, Miles, was we had the discussion of the pumper truck. There was some discrepancy later of what we were discussing. Is the pumper truck the other vehicle and then there's the fire truck? Or is the pumper truck the fire truck?
It's the one we need.
Yeah, we were talking like we had spent, okay, but what is the,
big, big, big fire.
The big fire truck that, okay, and then you have the subsequent truck
That's just a rescue.
a rescue
It's-
truck, okay.
It's just a.
Okay, so we don't need two then. There's not a second one that we're going to need, or,
So that vehicle is a 1986 or 87. It's near the end of its,
the rescue truck?
absolutely,
Okay,
right? We're patching that thing to keep it going. I Suggested I buy an ambulance and make that our rescue truck, but honestly, if we're going in the direction of a new pumper, which we need, according to insurance companies, or the insurance, whoever they are, I would just take our old pumper and move it to their side of the garage, have two pumpers.
okay, so
I would.
For the
use it, but it's
insurance-
not on-
okay, but it needs to be for the insurance, but it could be a travel vehicle. That's not.
Be anything we want. We can still use it, but the insurance underwriters will not recognize anything. So according to them, we don't have fire truck, we don't have a pump.
Okay. Go ahead.
There was also, when you mentioned the two vehicles, I was thinking, wasn't myself, someone mentioned it to me, and I thought maybe this would help, was you might be thinking of the roll-off too, because we're gonna be getting the roll-off, and then there's a tank accessory that you can put on this thing, so in case of a fire, we could have someone filling that up, and that's gonna also add, like Miles was alluding to, is having the two pumpers, it gives you extra fuel or water capacity. But by having that addition, it takes all of about 5 minutes to put it on, however long it takes to fill it up. They could be doing that, so you could have a town employee bring out another, say, 5,000 gallons of water for you that you could easily access. That's one of the long-term things that we're looking at too. We're gonna get it eventually.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for answering the question, because I didn't,
Honestly-
someone asked me and I thought,
Honestly, we
It
need
was a
two.
different-
We could easily go and buy two fire. trucks. But it worked. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I would still use it as a second back home. Across the other side and use that. The years we can.
okay, so there's nothing hindering us from using it. Okay, and then all of our volunteers are still protected with their gear and they can ride on that. There's nothing stopping them, like all the protections are there. So is it the replacement value that we're not getting insured for?
Believe the insurance underwriters. They gauge your insurance ratings for your community, for your residential, commercial rates. They're saying that anything 5 years is not even a problem. They want to place, I think an industry standard is now coming to 15 years. Make exceptions after.
They're gonna put the industry standards to 15 years for a pumper truck?
FPA standards is. So in the past, when I spoke to you a few years ago, it was 25 years.
Yeah,
Now it's down. I believe it's not a law. It's where I was moving to. So same with our firefighter certification, we're moving to.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Peter.
that there, you gotta understand, it's lobby groups are lobbying, well-funded groups are lobbying under the government on behalf of the people that actually build these things. So it's just a matter of you live in a society that they want to turn things over, and that there's got to be exceptions for communities that aren't paying. But for the time being, from what I understand is, once we have the new pumper, we can still use the one that's aged out because the insurance is based on our new one, not the old one.
Yeah,
So that's the secondary vehicle. So our insurance can go back down again.
okay, but currently, with all liability and concerning our fire department, there's no problem to use it. Okay, that was more my concern, because I was really concerned that we wouldn't even be able to put our volunteers on it to use it.
I say that now, but I believe there's nothing stopping us using that truck. There are other departments that are using much older trucks. They're using.
Okay,
They're still using.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
From the eighties.
I asked some advisors told me there's much older trucks out there.
okay. So that can all be part of that discussion at the committee level.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification now. Now I understand, and I honestly, the person when they asked me, I said, I don't know, and I would ask. I think that's it for my questions. Any further questions from council? Okay, so we'll have a motion coming back to council on the 14th to set up this committee for looking further into the longevity of our fire department and a fulsome plan. And with that being said, we can move to close council. If I can get a mover and a seconder for the adjournment. Moved by Councillor Peter Kissmaker, second by Councillor Belinda Kissmaker. Be it resolved that the bylaw number 2087 being a bylaw to confirm the proceeding of council at their special meeting held on Wednesday, July 24th, 2024, be hereby read a first and second time, considered read a third time, and finally passed. Those in favor? And that is carried. And the adjournment, moved by Councillor Drago Spanik, second by Councillor Belinda Kissmaker. Be it resolved that council does hereby adjourn the special meeting of council held on Wednesday, July 24th, 2024 at 8:04 p.m. Those in favor? And that is carried. Okay, thank you, council. It's good to see everyone. Thank you, Ted. I hope you have
Thank
safe
you.
travels and home.
Great, thank you. Good night.
Good night.